independent educational content. Views and opinions are entirely my own and do not reflect the official policies or positions of Akamai Technologies. Welcome to this explainer. Let's dive right into how modern networks are strategically defending against massive, record-breaking cyber attacks. We're going to examine the exact architecture that keeps the world's most critical digital infrastructure online when the pressure is really on. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the modern DDoS threat. Then, we'll introduce Akamai Prolexic, break down its core defense architecture, review those unmatched performance SLAs, and finally, look at the flexible integration on-ramps.
Okay, Section 1, the modern DDoS threat. Let's talk about the escalating scale and sophistication we're seeing out there.
Just to set the stage, look at the recent threat landscape data. Layer 7 DDoS attacks, they're up 26% year over year. And honestly, it doesn't stop there. Web application attacks have spiked 33%, averaging over 800 million attacks per day. Think about that for a second. The sheer volume of malicious traffic constantly hammering global networks is just staggering.
But the really crucial point here is that these attacks aren't just your old-school brute force traffic jams anymore. They've evolved into highly sophisticated tools. Sure, the scale is record-breaking, but even more alarmingly, DDoS is now a primary tactic for advanced persistent threats. Attackers are literally using these massive floods of traffic as a smokescreen. They distract your security team with the noise while quietly launching devastating, multi-layered ransomware attacks in the background. It's a direct, everyday threat to the 24/7, 365 availability that modern businesses absolutely depend on.
Which brings us to Section 2. Introducing Akamai Prolexic. We're looking at the definitive defense solution. So, what exactly is Prolexic? Essentially, it's designed as a comprehensive, impenetrable defense layer for your entire digital infrastructure. It doesn't matter if your assets are sitting entirely on premises, if they're fully in the cloud, or if you're running a really complex hybrid environment. Prolexic steps in and stops malicious traffic before it ever reaches your applications. And the best part? It does this across all ports and protocols, giving you a true defense-in-depth posture.
To handle the kind of escalating threats we just talked about, Prolexic brings some serious muscle. We are talking about a dedicated defense capacity of over 20 terabits per second. And let me be clear, this isn't shared bandwidth. This is dedicated mitigation capacity specifically engineered to absorb the most massive, complex, record-breaking attacks you can imagine, making sure your network doesn't even feel a bump.
All right, Section 3, Core Defense Architecture. Let's look at how the traffic actually flows.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, the Prolexic Network Cloud Firewall acts as your definitive first line of defense. Because it sits way out at the edge of the network, like far outside your internal firewalls, it allows your network admins to manage access control lists globally. This means you can instantly drop known malicious traffic right at the edge, way before it even gets close to your core infrastructure. Let's trace that workflow step by step. First, all inbound traffic hits that network cloud firewall at the edge. Second, the cloud DDoS protection layer jumps in, instantly detecting and scrubbing the malicious packets using multi-layered analysis. And finally, only pristine, clean traffic is securely handed back to your origin servers. This return trip happens seamlessly, usually via generic routing encapsulation tunnels, Layer 2 VLAN connections, or VIP to origin mapping.
Now, you might be wondering, doesn't all this scrubbing add latency? Well, it happens incredibly fast because Prolexic routes traffic via Anycast. That means traffic is automatically directed to the absolute closest of its 32 globally distributed scrubbing centers. By stopping the attack closer to the source, Prolexic actually maximizes performance for your legitimate users while keeping your network completely resilient.
Moving on to Section 4, Unmatched Performance and SLAs. Let's see these guarantees in action.
Okay, incredible architecture is great, but C-level execs want hard guarantees, right? Well, Prolexic backs up its tech with an industry-leading 0-second mitigation SLA for the vast majority of attacks. Yeah, you heard that right, 0 seconds. They pull this off through some seriously cutting-edge proactive automation, alongside rigorous validation exercises where custom defensive controls are explicitly tailored to your specific attack surface. But it's not just a bunch of machines running the show. This fully managed solution is backed by a 24/7 global security operations command center. We're talking about a team of over 225 frontline responders actively monitoring your traffic. They basically act as a direct extension of your own team. And honestly, this is huge because it frees up your local defenders to focus on high-priority strategic stuff rather than just fighting daily fires. Finally, Section 5, Flexible Integration On-Ramps. Let's talk about tailoring the deployment.
Look, there's no one-size-fits-all approach in enterprise networking, and Prolex accommodates that beautifully. Whether you advertise routes via BGP for standard GRE tunnels, maybe you require private 100 gigabit direct connects with full jumbo frame support, or perhaps you just need symmetric DNS redirection for fragmented IP space, whatever it is, there's a highly specific integration pathway engineered specifically for your exact infrastructure.
It's really a strategic choice between cloud and on-premise deployments. You can lean entirely on the massive 20-terabyte Prolexic Cloud Shield for pure, unmatched scale. Or, alternatively, you can utilize Prolexic on-prem hardware, which is powered by Correro, for surgical, inline protection. That on-prem option gives you the sub-second ultra-low latency that's absolutely mandatory for data-intensive, real-time services. Think multiplayer gaming, high-frequency trading, or global video conferencing.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a crucial question to evaluate your own network posture. If a multi-vector, zero-day DDoS attack hit your infrastructure today, like right this second, could your current defenses mitigate it instantly, without any manual intervention from your team? If the answer isn't an absolute, confident yes, it might be time to rethink your edge defense strategy. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Keep learning and keep those networks secure.